You're watching Make Your Fate TV. And on this episode, you can't polish a turd. What do you do when you're going after something? Your dreams, your goals, your desires, your outcomes. Making more money or losing weight or whatever it is that you want to make happen in your life, but you don't seem to be getting there fast enough. Things don't seem to be working out. Things keep on happening and getting in your way. People, places, things, whatever it is. What do? Do you give up? Do you change what you're going after? Do you get something else? Do you keep doing what you've been doing over and over again, trying to get a different result? Well, the answer may just surprise you. So stay tuned. I'll be right back with those answers and a new feature on the show called Ask Winston. I'm Joseph McClendon III, and this is the place that sets the pace so you can master going further faster. One opportunity to make. Inspire them to do something. Hello and welcome back. I'm Joseph McClendon III, and you're watching Make Your Fate TV. And of course, I'm here with my co-host and executive producer, Winston the Magnificent. So what do you do to accelerate your progress? What do you do to make your dreams, your goals, and your desires and your passions happen faster for you? Well, most people fit into one of two categories, I always say, and that is their belief that working hard and diligence and discipline and efforting is the only way to make it happen. And if you do it, it's going to happen for you. And although that's true, there's definitely a quicker or faster way. And then the second group of people, as a result of that first group of people, or doing what the first group of people did, they wind up falling into what I call giving up. And that is they get frustrated, or they feel like it's just too much work, it's not worth it. And they allow themselves to get distracted, they procrastinate, and they hesitate, and they wind up going for something else. And their dream becomes a nightmare, and their dream is something that they forget about. Later on in life, they go, gosh, I never got that. Well, listen, don't scrap the dream, scrap the crap. And what I mean by that is working hard at something and doing something, feeling like that's the only way, and doing the same thing over and over again. I call that polishing a turd. No matter how hard you rub or no matter how hard you shine, it's still a turd. Now, so I'm going to show you how to do it even quicker, faster. Now, by the way, we over here operate from one simple fundamental, and that is feel, do, have, in that order. And what that means is this: unless you feel good, unless you feel like you can or you will, you feel good about yourself or about what you're doing, you're not going to be operating at your best. If you're not operating at your best, you're not going to be doing at your best. If you're not doing at your best, you're not going to get the results that you want quicker. So always our focus is to go back first and get that fundamental of getting our attitude, our motivation, all those things, our disposition in check so that we feel better and then we do better, and as a result we get the results that we want. So I have a very simple acronym, I love acronyms, of the system steps to go through to go further faster in this realm. Number one, and by the way, the acronym is REACH, R-E-A-C-H. Makes sense, doesn't it? Reach for it. R stands for, simple enough, here it comes, relax. Whenever you find yourself frustrated, or whenever you find yourself looking at you're not getting what you want, and you got one of these going on your face, just stop and take a deep breath and just relax. Did you know that when you stop and you relax and you check things out, then you actually go further faster because of the formula I said? You feel better, you take some breaths, your brain gets the oxygen, and just allow yourself to realize that, wait a minute, you're all you got, and you're on the case, and it's going to happen. Tell yourself that it's going to be okay, because it is. Number two, the second thing, the E stands for evaluate. Check things out, but evaluate the smart way. Here's what most people do, is they check something out and they go, here's what I screwed up on, this is what I did wrong, this is what I did, and they wind up feeling bad, and then they don't do as well, and then they don't get as well, and they get frustrated. Instead, do it the smart way. It's the feedback model. First, write down everything that you did that was great. Anything. I got up early, I did this, I made this phone call. As often as you can, keep checking in. And then when you do that, you move to the next. And by the way, that causes you to feel good because you're going, And then step two of that process right there is then ask yourself, what could I have done better? Or what could I do? What should I do better? Not what was screwed up and how I screwed up. What should I do better? From that mindset, it'll cause you to move to the next stage, which is adjust. And that is to adjust your process. Like I said, don't change your dream, keep going after your dream, but oftentimes you need to adjust what you're doing. If you're not losing the weight that you want, then you got to adjust what you're doing. If you're not making the money that you want, then you got to adjust what you're doing. It'll help you go further faster. You can check, in with your mentors, or like we talked about before, the people that you're modeling, what did they do? And then, of course, the C, and this is very important, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, here it comes. It's the most important thing in this process, in terms of the process of going further faster. Celebrate. You know what I mean? Pat yourself on the back. Give yourself a high five or whatever. Look, at least once in your day, you should be stopping and looking at yourself and going, I freaking rock. I'm unbelievable. Now, I joke around about things, but I'm serious about that. You need to give it to yourself. It teaches your nervous system to do more of what you did before. And of course, the last thing, H, stands for hit it again. Go after it. I call that activity. And what that means is we've heard over and over again that knowledge is not power, and that's true, it's only potential power. We've heard that action is power. And action, again, to me is potential power a little bit more, but action connotates just doing something once or doing it twice or maybe 3, maybe even 5 times. Activity, however, is doing it over and over and over again, doing the process over and over again until you get what you want. And by the way, this whole process will speed things up. It'll make you go further faster. So there you have it. What I encourage you to do when you turn this off, take your notes, look at it, and put it into practice right away. Now, time for a new section in our segment in our show, and that is called Ask Winston. Many of you have written into our blog and asked a lot of questions and asked me questions, and you've been asking Winston questions. Now, he makes me call him executive producer. I think this TV thing has gone to his head, and he's a dog, and of course he can't talk, so we've set things up. We've rigged up a little keyboard for him, so I'll ask the question, and of course he will type it in, and then I'll read it off of here. So here's the first question. This question comes from Susan. Susan, frustrated. Susan says, Dear Joseph and Winston, I'm frustrated. What do you do when your significant other isn't into what you're into? My boyfriend teases me. I love personal development, and it's helped my life, and it's helped me go further faster. But he teases me. He's not into it. He jokes around about it, and it causes me to be frustrated and slows me down. I know that it'll work for him. It's worked for me, and he sees that. What do I do? Signed, Frustrated. Well, Winston, what's your advice? And Winston writes, Dear Frustrated, give me a break. Get over it. I'm a dog, for God's sake. Be nice, Winston. I've got no thumbs. You don't see me complaining, do you? The best thing you can do is, number 1, follow Joseph's advice. Go through the process and you'll get the results there. Number 2, remember, physician, heal thyself. The best you can hope for is you do it, and you'll be influencing him by your results. And maybe he'll catch on. He probably will, because everybody wants to go further faster. Well, I hope that's helpful to you, Susan. And remember, if you have a question, and by the way, thank you so much, Winston. Again, I think this thing has gotten to his head a little bit. If you have a question, make sure you blog us, and maybe we'll answer your question on the next episode, and we'll send you some free stuff. So, I'm Joseph McClendon III, and along with Winston, we've been the best hosts ever, and we look forward to seeing you again. Remember that life is exactly what you dare to make it, and fortune favors the bold. Your fate is out there waiting for you, so go make it happen. I look forward to seeing you at the top. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye, Winston.